Hi, I'm Retro Gamer Sean. These are my thoughts on a Nintendo Switch. I love the system. I mean, I haven't been able to go with it much yet, but I have used it in portable mode lots while I watch TV, and it's great. I mean, low battery life is an issue, but I don't care. It's how it's gonna be. It's how it's gonna be. So anyway, just there's some pros and some cons. So pro is that it's light, like it's surprisingly light for what it is, which is good. The con though is that, like I said before, it's got a low battery life. So when Zelda you get about, I think Nintendo said what, 2.5 hours. I haven't really, well, I shouldn't say I haven't tested. I just never paid attention, but that's probably about right. And the other games that are less taxing on the system will last longer, but. So if you're on the go, you should have a power bank with you. Other than that, though, it's got a big. The screen on it's beautiful. It's 720p and it's beautiful. Like I said, I've mostly played it so far. I mean, I played an hour, about hour and a half on my big screen, but I mostly played on this in portable mode. So like I said, I was watching TV, and the screen's beautiful. The con, though, is it's only got 32 gigs of space, which isn't much. But then you got your micro SD cards for expansion, although they get expensive when you get into when you get past the 100 gigs. But so I know 30 gigs is low, but I think Nintendo did that just to lower the cost of the Switch itself, because it would have cut with more memory. It would have cost more. I mean, there's already some people complain about the price. I haven't heard much, but there's some people who don't like the price, even though it's not that bad. So it would have been more if it had more gigabytes. So 32 is fine. And I think you get about 29 point something gigs of that. So I think so a pro would be these Joy-Cons are actually really comfortable. You know, just take them off here. Like they're comfortable to hold. Even playing games like this, it feels great. Like I did play on the TV there for about an hour and a half, whatever. I played like this, and it was comfortable, sitting natural on this, holding. I was playing this. It felt great. I thought it would feel weird having half a controller in each hand, but actually it felt pretty great. So I look forward to playing more games like this. You know, they just sit the way I want. A con though would be, well, this dock, 'cause it's not the greatest design. I mean, it's nice, but it's got a flaw in that, I don't know if you can see, but this is angled in a little, and you can actually scratch the edges of your gamepads of your Switch screen on these corners. Now, I barely had in it, but I have seen pictures of other people who have done that. So you gotta be careful putting it in. Other than that, like I said, the dock's design's not great, so you can't even put it down. So it's gotta be on the top of your entertainment center, which for me is fine, but for other people, probably not. So, and docks may be a little expensive for the price of an extra one, because all it is well, HDMI, USB, and the AC adapter. So it's just basically the all pass through for charging and putting the video out to the TV. So yeah, there's three USB ports on there, two there. So I mean, you can plug a USB keyboard in. So that's what I used one of those for, and I have once already. And the USB port inside, it's actually blue, so I think it's a USB 3.0. So I don't know what you'd use it for aside from your Ethernet adapter, which what I do use it for. So anyway, the UI is simple. It's actually similar. It's similar. The layout's kind of similar to the PS4 action, that you got kind of your games in a row. Although instead of there being other stuff on above, it's below, which would be the eShop and settings and all that. But it's all simple and stuff, so which is pretty good. Actually, I could turn this on here, and I don't know how I'll see it, but oh, here we go. So like I said, it's fairly simple. It's nice. I mean, it could. Man, I wouldn't mind having a option to make folders later on once I got a few more games, but for now it's good. And another con is that you can't transfer games or your save files to the micro SD card. So if you download games, make sure you have a micro SD card in, or else you can't move them unless you delete them and then reinstall them. For that, but game saves you can't do anything. They'll always, even digital games, they'll save onto the system memory, which for the most part they're seem to be small. Zelda is like 64 megs, but other than that, the other ones that I have on there are actually pretty small. So the eShop is buying games on the eShop is fast compared to 3DS and Wii U, because you just go to the game, hit buy, and then you gotta put your credit card info in each time, which is one of the cons about, because it's kind of annoying. So all they need to do is say the same as 3DS and Wii U, just have a PIN code that you'd put in, and then that would be that. But they don't, so you gotta put it in. So other than that, you put it in, you pay, and then it's done, and it's downloading. It's real quick compared to how long it took on the Wii U and the 3DS. So that's great. Another con about the eShop though is that it's a bit too simple now. It's kind of like the actually, it's like the Xbox One store actually, where it's just all the games in one spot. No categories. No categories. You can't even. Well, you might be able to arrange in alphabetical order. I haven't fooled around enough, but that's, like I said, right now it's not much different from that actually. Aside from they do have an upcoming title spot, which you think would have more in it because there's a few upcoming games, but only has like 1 or 2 in it, I think. Other than that, it's not. Other than that, it's simple. It's nice, but yeah, everything's in one spot. I don't know categories at all, so I can't like select retail titles that are also available digitally, and then like just the eShop only ones. There's no that. So hoping a future update does get some of that, but otherwise it's not bad. I think syncing the controllers is easy. I mean, all you do is basically press a button to power on, and then you just press L and R, and that's it. It's fairly simple. So, one thing I have to mention about the Joy-Cons actually, when it's con, is the D-pad. That's not good for playing 2D games. I haven't tried it much yet, but I do know. Since I have, I kind of used it just fooling around in the menus, and even then, it's fine there, but you're always under your thumb, which isn't good for playing your 2D games. That's why I'd be able to just do it in the middle and pivot, but you can't. So you kind of can, but you might end up hitting the other ones. So for on the go, it's not good for playing 2D games unless you got to put it in the stand mode. But other than that, it's not bad. The games load fairly quick compared to Wii U. What's good? The con is there's no option to turn the switch off from the quick menu or power buttons on the controllers, which don't really need power buttons on the controllers so much, but the quick menu, or what I'm calling the quick menu, is when you hold the home button down to access that, what I'm calling the quick menu. There's a sleep option, but there's no option to turn it right off. That needs to be there. That's all you need. And then it would be the same as like the PS4 and Xbox One and such. You get pros, you get 2 controllers out of the box, that being the Joy-Cons, which like I said are comfortable, and even this is not bad. Although if you play like this, you should have the strap on, so it just feels better. And also pressing the SL and SR buttons is better too. Feels better. The Joy-Con strap is a bit hard to get off, which is unfortunate, but it is possible to put them on backwards too, which is So you gotta be careful of that, 'cause then they're even harder to get off. And Pro, you can take screenshots. It's the screenshot button, which in the future you'll also be able to take video clips. Now I like the ability to take screenshots. 'Cause I used it. I do that on the PS4. I don't want to say a lot, but I do use it, and it's real nice. So it's kind of cool to have that on the Switch. The last of the cons for the system would be that you can't charge the Switch when using a stand, the built-in stand anyway, because we're right at the table, so you can't charge it. That leads me to another thing about that stand. To me, that stand is just a glorified micro SD card cover, because that's when it's closed. It's just covering the micro SD card slot. So I think they just made the stand because they were gonna have some sort of pop-up cover for the micro SD card slot. And so they thought, well, let's make a stand out of this, and so they did. I mean, that's just my theory. That's not official. That's just my theory, because, I mean, the stand is a little flimsy. I mean, they made it flimsy on purpose, so if you do leave it, get to close it, and you put it in here, it would snap off. And oh yeah, the Pro Controller, so I'll get to the Pro Controller now. The Pro Controller is real nice. Feels great. I think my favorite controller still be the PS4 controller, but this is definitely up there. I do like it actually better than the Xbox One controller. Feels nice. Got the proper D-pad, of course. I wish these were, I think analog's the right term for the triggers on the PS4 and Xbox One controllers and stuff, and GameCube. So I wish they were that, because we'd have for GameCube Virtual Console, that's what you need. These just don't work because of the way the GameCube ones work. So, but other than that, it's a great controller. Of course, charged with USB-C. Yes, there's a sync button on here, which I think you have to press the first time. Other than that, like I said, you just press L and R once it's synced and you're good to go. And yeah, there's the Joy-Con grips here. I got two. Not sure if you can tell from here. One's the charging grip, and one's the one's just the regular grip. Which I think, when these are in the grip, the Joy-Cons, just get them in there. Anyway, put them in the charge grip here. And yeah, it feels good. It definitely, if I want to, for the most part, a full controller, because it's all the buttons and everything, I can use this. So if you're playing 3 players, I'll just do this, and I got 2 of these. If you want to play 4 player, you make those separate, obviously, but it feels good. I do think that this one, it's not the charge grip, shouldn't even exist. It shouldn't exist. They should have put the charge grip, which is this one, in the box. You shouldn't have had to buy it separately. That's dumb. Which kind of brings me to another point that I miss, is that the charger is with the grip if you buy it, or there's also a Hori Joy-Con charging station, which I didn't buy. I mean, I only got 2 of these. I don't need it yet. Or they'll also charge when they're on the system, either when it's docked or when you just got a charger plugged directly into it. These Joy-Cons will charge. But so, like I said, this should have been included in the box, not this one. This one shouldn't even exist. But anyway, like I said, the stand, it's made by Hori, and it's actually similar to the 3DS stand Nintendo put in the box with the Kid Icarus Uprising. Actually, it's the same kind of flip out thing here in this. And the difference being that it's bigger, and for the Switch, and you can adjust the any height. There's a couple of different ones out there too, but they're less adjustable than this one. And so I picked, and this is the one I think my store had that I went to. So I'll look at it and I'll use it, and I'll use it whenever I want to be in tabletop mode. I'll never use the actual stand on the system. So I'd recommend this stand to everyone who wants to be able to actually charge the system while I'm playing it. That back there, and another thing I picked up is EB Games Canada exclusive. is this headrest grip or whatever. So clip your switch to the headrest. Like I said, it's only available in EB Games in Canada. I think that's about it for the Switch. Oh, the game cases are kind of a wasted space. 'Cause, I mean, they're about the size of, well, they're the size of PSP cases. I think they might be a little thinner. I'm not entirely sure, but I think they might be. But they're about as tall as a Blu-ray case, which, at this point, like I said, is dumb. Because I mean, look at all that wasted space. I mean, you cut it off about there. So you can make it even smaller than a Nintendo DS or 3DS case. So that's a lot of wasted space. I don't know. I think the reason Nintendo made them this tall was that they wouldn't look weird amongst all your other home console video game cases. I mean, the PS4, Xbox One, Wii U, and so forth. That's still kind of dumb, and it's also annoying to put these on because they'd be way far back. So I had to make a spacer to put behind so that they'd be up, so they'd far up front to be so I could easily get them out and stuff. But I'll show off the Breath of the Wild case. It came with the special edition here. It is a case and it is an accessory, so I'll show it off here. So yeah, it's based off the Shellcat slate. It's pretty cool. I mean, some people take a little issue with this because it doesn't look. I mean, it looks fine, and yeah, it does look a little not great, but I mean, I still like it. It's a cool case. There's actually a thicker case than some of the hard shell ones that you'd find in stores because you can actually fit your charger in. Here's my spare charger. This is better than the default case Nintendo made actually for the system because you got a better, because you actually have like, what is this, 12 spots for your game cards. Just put your Switch here. You can put like put headphones in here, power bank, which I actually gotta buy one of those yet. So, yeah, it's a pretty good case. It's the one I'll be using. Look forward to my upcoming Let's Plays. Retro Gamer Sean out.